This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today and start making smarter bets. We are here, the Genesis Invitational. Let me just tweet this link out and we are live. So let's go. Let's talk about the waste for a second, talk about the waste management, and then from there we'll get into the Genesis, give you my DFS picks, give you what I'm looking for this week. So I hope you guys watch the end of that. By the way, this is my 4 Aces hat, so go Aces. Shout out DJ. It's not definitely not an Atlanta Braves hat. This is definitely a 4 Aces hat. I hope you guys watch the end of the waste management because it was a great finish. I know it went into the start of the Super Bowl, but I had my phone up at my Super Bowl party, pretending like I was focusing on the game, and I was like, "Yeah, go Chiefs!" And then I was watching Charlie Hoffman make birdie, watching Nick Taylor make birdie. It was a great finish, and it was an overwhelmingly good DFS week for me. I didn't have any live lineups to win ship any contest, but I cashed a good majority of my lineups. So that's a good start to the month of February. Parlay it into this week as well. So I hope we can do that. But it was a great finish. Nick Taylor finishing birdie, birdie, par, birdie, birdie, or something like that. I think it was that 5-hole stretch. He made 4 birdies and 1 par into the playoff. Was just so phenomenal. Just balls to the wall. Big Dick Nick. He did exactly what he had to do, and he just didn't ever waver. Like, he literally lost 2 strokes off the tee yesterday. 2 strokes off the tee and found a way to win the golf tournament with Scotty Scheffler eyeing him down. Like, very impressive and very ballsy from Nick Taylor. So that was awesome to see. I'm glad Nick T got it done. From a betting standpoint, I had Cam Young in the mix Sunday morning, and he didn't really give it a chance. He birdied 1 on Sunday, and I was like, okay, eye emojis. He's 2 back now, and Cam Young can finally get this inaugural win, but he just shit the bed like Cam Young does, and that's probably what I get for betting on Cam Young. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Let's get into the Jenny. I'm gonna bring up the DFS board and then talk about a little bit what I'm looking for. So yeah, the Genesis Invitational. This is an event that's more predictive rather than just getting with a few random stats. I'm really high on course history this week, more than I am on a normal week. I think course history is very important, very sticky, very predictive. So I'm looking for guys who have obviously overwhelming good ball striking, good tee to green form coming in, playing good golf. Like, obviously no one's going to say the opposite. And from there, I'm looking at guys who have gotten it done at Riviera before, have played well at least, have gotten some decent reps here before. There's a few new names in this odds board that have never played Riviera before or don't have good course history, that are names that you may have wanted to bet at least the last few weeks. So that might turn me off them. That might depend. Obviously, all ownership dependent. That might turn me off them. But let's get into the leaderboard. Let's get into the DraftKings board, and talk about some guys. So Scotty Scheffler leads the way at 11.5. Rory McIlroy 11.2. Xander Schauffele 10.1, and Victor Hovland 10K flat. So those are the guys above 10K. And I'll just say it right now. I think Scotty is another just lineup lock. What makes you not want to put Scotty in your lineup? Is it the price? Because you can easily build around 11.5. He was 11.6 last week, I believe, and you could easily build around Scotty at 11.6. I had Scotty in all my lineups. He finished third, and I still cashed all my lineups. Obviously, you need other things to go well, but what I'm saying is it's not hard to build around Scotty at 11.5. So he's playing great golf at the moment. I like that he's playing. Like, he's not just like the Rory McIlroys of the world where he's taking weeks off, hasn't played much in 2024. I love Scotty. His course history isn't going to turn any heads. It's 12th in 2023, 7th 2022, 20th and 30th leading in before that. Probably one of the worst course histories for Scotty at all the courses. But what we know about about Riviera, is that it yields the best tee to green players to the top of the leaderboard. And Scotty Scheffler has been nothing short of the best tee to green player in the world the last year. So I love Scotty. Hot take. I love Scotty. Do I want to bet him? No, but is this a betting show? No, it's a DFS show. You can easily pencil in Scotty at 11.5. Let's talk about Rory, a golf course that he should perform well on. He's performed well on his career, but the last few seasons, it's not been great. He's not been in the mix at all. And the Pebble Beach performance was a tad concerning. But I do like Rory, and I think you can get equity to him elsewhere than the DFS markets. I just don't know if I love it for 4 rounds, but I think he's going to pop in one of these rounds, shoot one of the low rounds of the week. I truthfully do. I just see it happening where Rory comes out the gate super fast. I think he's a good first round leader guy. I feel more safe about Scotty at 11.5, but it might be a little bit of an ownership discount going with Rory above Scotty, but I think Scotty is the answer. You just know what you're getting, and it's such a high floor. Like, this dude is not going to finish worse than like T7. Not that a T7 finish from Scotty will win you all the money, but it's just so safe. I really do think Scotty is safe even at 28%, truthfully. Okay. Xander Schauffele and Victor Hovland, the real winners of last week from withdrawing from Waste Management. I talked about, I mentioned to Will Wilcox on my show last week, broke the news on the air. I was like, Xander just withdrew from Waste. And he was like, yeah, that checks out. These guys don't want to deal with the bullshit. Seemed to be the right move from Xander and Austin. It was a mess in Phoenix last week. A lot of guys having to deal with heckling fans. Look, it's great for 1 week a year. It really is. But it seems to have gotten a little overboard. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Waste Management Phoenix Open as a whole. Have they gone too far, or is it okay for a week? I think they've gone too far, but there's no solution, in my opinion, because it's turned into an event where the entire city of Phoenix shuts down. Like, it's a waste weekend. We're getting hammered. We're watching the golf 16, the whole shindig. And what are you going to do? Like, just stop selling alcohol? Like, limit ticket sales? No, that's not going to happen. So I think just what's going to happen at Waste is no one's going to play. It's not going to be elevated again. It wasn't elevated this year. It was elevated last year. It's never going to be elevated again. And no one's gonna play. Is it gonna? I joked on Twitter making an alternate event, but that's obviously never gonna happen. So yeah, that's just my little aside on Waste, I guess. But let's talk about Xander and Vic. Xander has some decent course history. I mean, not decent. His best finish here in 9th, and that came years ago when I think it was his first trip here. But his course history here is usually in the between 10th and 20th. It's not really going to win you all the money at 10-1. But you know what you're getting with Xander. And I feel like it's weird because usually Xander makes so much sense. Like, oh, he's got a T3 here in his career. He's playing great golf. He doesn't have that T3 here. So is he going to be Giga Chalk? Maybe not. And he took that week off, hopefully dialed in a little bit. Like I said, I am so high on Xander this year. Not so high. I'm just higher on Xander than I usually am. I don't think I'm going to do it this week, though. I just truthfully don't. I need a little break from Xander. I bet him like 2 or 3 times at the gates, and it hasn't really gone well. So I think I'm going to take a little break from Xander. Now, Victor Hovland, I think I love. I think he might be an amazing DFS play. If you want to start with your lineups to Victor Hovland, I think you can, because he's got great course history. He's finished 4th here, he's finished 5th here, he's finished 20th here in his 3 starts. Now, Victor Hovland is on a stretch of 3 straight events losing strokes on approach. That is the worst in his entire career. But he met with his coach this past week. He took a Waste off to get dialed back in. We saw just as recently as Wyndham Clark have to meet with his coach, have to work on some things, and bang, he wins immediately at Pebble Beach. So Victor Hovland is a great bounce back candidate, a great low-owned guy at 10K, I think. I think people are going to go elsewhere because he's hitting the ball so poorly. So I think Victor Hovland at 10K is a hammer play. I love it. I love it. So Scotty obviously makes a lot of sense at 11.5. If you don't want to do the Scotty thing, start your lineups with Victor. Okay, before we get into the 9K range and below, let me talk to you quickly about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. NBA, NHL, college hoops, simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats and cash in. You can win 100x with some spicy plays. If you've been following me on Twitter, I've been putting out underdog plays. Try to do it for every round. I like doing the lottos. I hit one I hit one 6x play on Saturday, and that was it. But if you hit one 6x play for the week, that should be making a little bit of money. So I'm done with the little 3x hammers. I've been literally losing too much money trying to I've been losing so much money trying to win money on parlays. Like, what was I thinking? It's only sprinkles from now on. Just sprinkle 10x fun daily bets, not to be taken with massive hammers for 3x. It's sprinkles only, but underdog is a lot of fun. You could definitely win you could win 100x in a game. So I think it is fun for little sprinkles. Let's get into the 9K range. Max Homa leads the way at 9.8, down to Jordan Spieth at 9K flat. This is a very interesting range, and I think all of these guys in the range are very similar. I wouldn't say win equity, maybe win equity. I think all of these guys have very similar win equity, but we have to do the Max Homa conversation. Immaculate course history, second last year, won in 2021, fifth in 2020. Literally T10s this the last 4 years. A California stud. No one's going to say anything bad about Max Homa in California, but I will. I'm going to say something bad about Max Homa. He's got something wrong with him off the tee. I mentioned it at Torrey Pines. He was working with his coach at Mark Blackburn on this little new heel move with the driver, and whatever he did at Torrey Pines, this new move has lost his control of the driver and the long irons. That is not the recipe for success on a golf course like this. You have to be hitting it well. And Max Homa is an extremely streaky player for a while too. He's the last two events, he's been poor. Missed the cut in Phoenix, obviously, and 66th at Pebble. He has not hitting the ball well. The path for Max to have success this year is to have another performance of gaining 11 strokes putting. He did that last year at Riviera. He gained 11 strokes putting, finished runner-up. And he's literally one of the best pro putters on tour, but he's not going to gain 11 strokes putting again. I just can't bet or place a Max Homa in my entry at 9.8 when he's hitting the ball this poorly. I just cannot do it. He's going to be highly owned. Max Homa is a great fade, in my opinion. Okay. Collin Morikawa, 9,500. A guy with another great course history. Second here in 22, sixth here in 23. And he kind of doesn't fit the build of the Genesis, the Riviera mold, but he's getting it done. He's really getting it done. So Collin Morikawa, he's going to hit all the fairways. He's going to have a bunch of long irons in. And a lot of guys are going to go with the bomber narrative. And Collin Morikawa doesn't fit that mold. Although the new TaylorMade driver is treating him well. Collin Morikawa is hitting the ball long and straight, longer than you would think. So I like Collin Morikawa at 9,500. He's probably going to be popular. I think there's other options in this 9K range that you can go to. Let me answer this comment real quick. Hand up. That was one of the worst wagers I've ever made. Ryan Fox minus 190 to finish top Oceania. Ryan Fox, I love you, but that weekend was pathetic. Aaron Bradley played well and beat him, and so did Adam Scott. That was a bad. The weekend live ads were bad. That was I had the rest of the pre-tournament stuff was better than the live ads. You can never have it all in 1 week. So appreciate the comment. We'll get him back this week. Okay. Patrick Cantlay, 9,300. Let me do the Patrick Cantlay thing. You guys know how much I love Patrick Cantlay. You guys know how much I lose money on Patrick Cantlay on a weekly basis. Patrick Cantlay has got something wrong with the ball striking. Last year was one of the best ball striking seasons of his career. And the last 2 weeks, I don't know what has happened. He has been squandering strokes off the tee and on approach, and he's looked poorly. He's really looked poorly. He's lost strokes ball striking in now 3 straight starts. Very concerning for Patrick Cantlay, but he seems to always play well here. He finished third here last year, top 20 a bunch of other times in his career. But look, I can't wager on Patrick Cantlay if he's hitting the ball this poorly, and he's got a shaky putter to begin with. So, Pat Ice, I love you, dude. I really do love you. And I stand up for you in a lot of moments, Patrick Cantlay. I know you're watching this right now, Patrick Cantlay. I do stand up for you in a lot of moments, but I don't know if I could do it at 9,300 when you're just playing so poorly. the Ludwig Aubert, however you want me to say it, and Justin Thomas thing, this 92 to 9K range is I like a lot. Ludwig Aubert 9200 has never played here before, but like I say every single week, his driver starts him on second base. If he's driving it to his average potential, he puts himself in another stratosphere compared to the field. Like we see Rory McIlroy in every hole, having 130 in at most, having a wedge in. Ludwig does the same thing. Now, I'm not saying Ludwig is Rory McIlroy. I'm just saying he has such an advantage off the tee. He still has to hit the shots. He still has to hit the putts. But his driver just puts him on another planet in this field. And on a course where you can really bomb it. Look at the last 10 winners of this field. They're all plus driving distance, plus driver golfers. So I love Ludwig. I'm worried about the nuances of Riviera, if he can deal with those. Maybe not. But in a DFS world, I'm not saying he's going to win the event. He doesn't have to win the event at 9,200. This is DFS. I think he's a good play because there's going to be ownership in this range spread out somewhere. I don't think it's all going to go to Ludwig. Justin Thomas might be a little popular at 9,100. Finished 20th here last year. He's got a second a few years ago, and he's playing great golf still, which is crazy. He finished 12th last week, and that was his worst finish since like August. Let me confirm that. I think that was Justin Thomas's worst finish worldwide since July. He missed the cut at the 3M Open in July, and he finished T12 at the Wyndham, finished T12 last week. That's very impressive from Justin Thomas. He is putting on an absolute ball striking display. He's putt well here before, and he was very popular last week. Maybe if people get off him this week because he kind of let him down, even though you can say T12 let you down, but it probably did. So I just love it. And he's putting on these great Thursdays and Fridays, and he's kind of losing it once he gets into the mix come Saturday and Sunday. Now, that's very unlike Justin Thomas when he's playing good golf, because he's a dog. He's got that dog mentality. He plays well when the lights are on. I think that's just going to come with reps, and it's going to come with time. So if you've been betting Justin Thomas, you've been playing Justin Thomas, don't get off him now. Keep going, because his time is coming. I truthfully think it is. He's playing great golf. He's getting himself in the mix. I love Justin Thomas. Jordan Spieth, I think he's going to win in the months of March or April. I'm going to give him an 8-week period where I think a win's coming. Hopefully, we can avoid it this week, because I'm probably going to wait until we get to Florida for Jordan Spieth. But what he's been doing with the driver, what he's been doing with the iron numbers, what he's been doing around the green and on the green has been so amazing bad. He's popping in off the tee. He's popping with his irons with no rhyme or reason. It's very Jordan Spieth-esque. It's very Jordan Spieth-esque to be very random and just pop at will. So he's playing good golf right now. He's playing good. He's doing good stuff. But I don't want to do the Jordan Spieth thing yet. I'm going to wait. Let's get to this 8K range. Tony Finau leads the way at 8.9. And who is at the bottom of this 8K range? I hate when my screen does this. So I'll just go to the top. Tony Finau at 8K has amazing course history, and he's hitting the cover off the ball and putting like Tony Finau. He's hitting the cover off the ball and putting like Tony Finau. Isn't that on brand? So yeah, what do we want to make of Tony Finau? He loves it here. He plays great every year. It's a golf course that makes so much sense for him. But do we want to do the Tony Finau thing? That's just going to be a question you have to ask yourself, because he makes a lot of sense, but he's going to be a little chalky. I think I'm going to pass on Tony Finau just because I don't trust the putter, and especially we're going to get softer conditions. I can see this getting to 20 under plus. So I'm going to wait on Tony Finau. Anyone else in this upper 8K range that I think is live? Sam Burns is coming off of the best ball striking week since the 2021 Sanderson Farms, in which he won. Definitely something to keep an eye on, because this is a golf tournament he's had great success at. He's played really well. He almost won a few years ago. So I like Sam Burns. Sahith Theegala, 8,600, probably going to be popular again. He's hitting his driver as good as he had in his is in. He's hitting. Sorry, sometimes I talk too fast. He's hitting his driver as good as he has in his entire career. Very enticing. And what did I say last week? Look at Sahith Theegala's driver numbers during the week. If he's gaining strokes, he's going to be in contention. If he's losing strokes, he's going to be out of contention. Sahith Theegala was gaining strokes with the driver. He was in contention. Question we have to ask ourselves, is he going to keep hitting the driver well? I think he can. He's won in California before on a tree line golf course. He's finished T6 last year. Sure. He finished T5 last week. Sal is playing great golf. He knows how to perform on these California surfaces. I'm down. Cameron Young, $8,500. Let's have the conversation. I was on him last week. He was my best outright shot last week. He was one of my lineup essentials, and he's got good course history here. He finished runner-up 2 years ago, 20th last year, and like Ludwig, his driver puts him on second base. He hits it long, he hits it straight. He's going to be in a lot of spots that other guys aren't going to be in. It's just a matter of hitting the shots. It's a matter of, do you want to put your hard-earned money on Cameron Young, who has done nothing but disappoint once he gets into contention? But at $8,500, he doesn't have to win this golf tournament for him to benefit your lineup. Cam Young can surely get back in the mix here, finish T6, finish in the top 5. That's helping your lineups at $8,500. Matt Fitz, $8,400. I'm so high on Matt Fitz this year, and he kind of got boned by the weather last week. He was in the bad wave, and he was 4 under out the gates. And then the delay happened, came up the next morning and went 2 over, and then wasn't really the same since then. Finished T15, gained 4 strokes off the tee, gained around the green, gained putting. I want to see his strokes gain numbers from this event. He finished T5 here in 2021, and Matt Fitz gives you that elite driver. Like, he is an elite driver. I love how he's hitting it right now, and I love the price point. I think Matt Fitz is going to win soon, really soon. Wyndham Clark, $8,300. Wyndham is back. Wyndham is confident. I love it. I really do love what he's done recently. He was popular last week at the Waste Management, and he was he was playing good. He finished 41st, but he was kind of in the mix on Saturday. He hit the ball in the water and went south from there. But I love what Wyndham does off the tee. Obviously, he's one of the best drivers on the tour, and then he seems to be hitting his irons really well. He's now parlayed 3 straight starts where he's hit his irons really well, and that's enticing for Wyndham Clark, who he needs the irons to be going well. So I love Wyndham, 8,300. I love this lower 8K range. Adam Scott, fade out on. He has great course history, and he has amazing recent iron stats, but he hasn't been in the mix. He hasn't done anything to make you say, wow, Adam Scott's gonna finish T5 again at Riviera. Generational non-mixer, generational backdoor guy. Just so out. And he's going to be giga chalk this week. Everyone's going to want to play Adam Scott because he loves Riviera. He plays great here every year. Yeah, he does. He plays good golf here, but he's going to be so chalky. He is a fade. You have to fade Adam Scott right here. So I'm out on Adam Scott, and the rest of this 8K range doesn't really move the needle for me. Let's go down to the 7K range because we got some fun names down here. Let me just lower my screen. I hate when it does this. All right. I'm just going to go off something else because my screen is fucked. Okay. The upper 7K range, Keegan Bradley down to Harris English. And there's definitely some names in this 7K range that can make some noise. We'll talk about Will Zalatoris because he's trending, and he finished T4 here last year. It was his best result of 2023. I almost said 2024. It was his best result of 2023. My favorite golfer, Will Zalatoris. Guys, we're close. We're not there yet, but we are close. Adam at DG Betting and I have been talking about Will Zalatoris' hammer spot preseason, and we mentioned Houston. We are 100% on pace for Houston to hammer Will Zalatoris, but I think we might be close. We might be getting closer to Houston than Houston. I'm eyeing Bay Hill for Will Zalatoris to really get back in the mix and really turn some heads. So I'm going to have to pass on Will Zalatoris now because he's hitting the ball good. He's hitting the ball better than as good as he has been in the year, but he's still lacking some distance, still lacking that weekend mix potential. So A guy that I love, $7,800, Nikolai Højgaard. He is uber talented. This golf course makes so much sense for him. He's gained strokes off the tee in his last 2 starts at completely different golf courses, Pebble and Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines definitely fits him better than Pebble did, as he finished second at Torrey Pines. Now, this is a golf course where he can go bombs away, lean into that total bag. A little bit intricate about the surface, a little bit nervous about the intricacies of the surfaces for Nikolai Højgaard, because it's his first time playing in this. He's young, but his talent alone can put him in the mix in a golf course like this, in a field like this. He won the DP World Championship over Victor, over Rahm, over Rory. Nikolai can win in this field 110%. He probably is. He's a good bet. He truthfully is a top 20 bet. You can probably get plus money on him, and a great plug and play at 7,800. So I love Nikolai. Probably my favorite play in this upper 7K range. Ben on 7,800 checks a lot of boxes besides course history, which is a little bit nervous because he gives you the driver. He's trending with the ball striking. He's making a ton of birdies. The course history is nervous, but 7,600 is definitely a fair price for Ben on. So he let everyone down last week at Waste Management. So I don't know if I want to do the Ben on thing. So it's to monitor the situation. I don't have any strong thoughts on Ben on. So before I get into this lower 7K range and wrap it up with the 6K range, let me tell you quickly about Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets. NFL season no more. They have other sports though as well. Research every NBA soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay into Hall of Fame Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool and get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as expected probability for the entire play. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlay optimization. Use code SGPN to start making smarter bets today. 50% off your first month. Code SGPN. Okay. Lower 7K range, 6K range. I love 2 guys in this lower 7K range. They go by the name of Corey Connors and they go by the name of Cam Davis. Corey Connors has played this event last 4 years. Public service announcement. Tiger Woods, a veteran caddy, Lance Bennett on the bag at the Genesis Invitational. We'll get into Tiger soon. So yeah, Corey Connors has missed the cut here in 3 of his last 4 trips, but I just love the greens and regulation, the fairways he gives you. He gives you such a safe floor. I think he's going to be low owned, and he's just going to be so safe. Like, he's just a mellow plug and play at 7,300, which is a low number. And he gives you some equity too. He's playing good golf. 20th in Phoenix, 31st at Pebble. No one's really going to be running to click Corey Connors. $7,300. I love it. Finally, Cameron Davis, $7,200, finished T20 at Pebble, and he's striping it. He's hitting the ball really well the last 2 starts. I went out to California, watched him play at the Amex, and he was throwing his club, yelling at his caddy, giving 4 rights, and he was like, something's wrong. He literally looked like he was lost. Something was wrong. He got with his coach, got with on the range, and it figured it out. Now, I am extremely bullish on Cam Davis at a macro level. I think there will be a time this year, maybe next year, where Cam Davis wins in a massively strong field, like a major type venue, when no one's least expecting it. You ask any player on tour, any guy who's in the PGA Tour realm, Cam Davis is as talented as anyone in the entire world. He's still young and he still needs to put it together. But he's got the build for a course like this. Bombs it off the tee and can make birdies. Like, he won on a tree-lined bombs away golf course in Detroit, which I'm not saying Detroit is the same thing as Riviera, but they give you similar styles of scoring. And Cam Davis did that. So $7,200. I love a low on Cam Davis. Let's go down to the 6K range and talk about some guys who I think can help benefit your lineup. Emiliano Grillo, 6,900. He's playing great golf. He shot 8 under yesterday at Waste Management to finish T22. 14th at Pebble, 20th at Genesis, and then 7th at the Sony. Emiliano Grillo is just playing great golf. I'm a bit worried about his course history, but he's $6,900. Like, he's made his last 2 cuts at this event, and he's trending in the right direction. I think he's a great click. Another guy who is trending, Kurt Kitayama, led the field tee to green at Pebble, and he finished T8 last week at the Waste. He's a guy who gets hot in spurts, so you want to get on him while you can. So those two numbers, 6,900, Emiliano Grillo and Kurt Kitayama, I think are good clicks. We'll talk about the middle of the 6K range, which includes Tiger Woods. But first, I want to talk about Lucas Glover. Lucas Glover has missed like infinity cuts at this event, but this field being limited, this field being shorter, I think he's going to make the cut here. And I just think it's a very interesting price. Lucas Glover is priced next to Lucas Glover has won twice in the last 5 months, and he's priced next to a guy who's played once in the last like year, meaning Tiger Woods. So it just seems like a misprice. Lucas Glover is a generational iron player. Doesn't give you the most off the tee, but he gives you fairway equity. He's going to hit his irons close. He doesn't have the course history, which is definitely nerve-wracking, but he missed his tee time at the Waste Management, which meant he had to withdraw, giving him more time to prep for Riviera. I love Lucas Glover at 6,500. Real quick, Luke List 6,600. He gained 13 strokes ball striking this year. I mean, last year at this event, 13. That is the most strokes ball striking gained at Riviera ever, behind a guy named Phil Mickelson, who gained 0.02 strokes more. So Luke List has one of the best career ball striking performances at Riviera. If that means anything to you, $6,600. Tiger Woods, $6,500. Impressed by what I saw from him at the Hero. He finished T45 here last year, but this is a golf course that he's never really like played well on. But I kind of like him. Like, I really do. Like, I think this year is going to be good for Tiger Woods. He looks a little bit more healthy. He seems like he's ready to play some okay golf and maybe get into the mix this year. Can we do it, Tiger? I don't think he is a solid play this week, though. I think there's like, if he makes the cut, he's not going to give you any like T20 upside yet. I don't think he's going to yet. I'm bullish on him this year, but I don't think it's going to happen yet. So I think the click at this price point is Lucas Glover. So let's pull up my screen. Let's build a lineup together, and then we'll get out of here. So where do we want to stop? Start. I think we want to start with I love Matt Fitzpatrick, 8,400. Well, that's a weird place to start, but we'll start with Matt Fitzpatrick. Okay, I said Scotty Scheffler is an easy plug and play. Let's do that. So Scotty Scheffler, and let's go down to what I said from the $7,200 range was Corey Connors and Cam Davis. Interesting. Whereas I think Cam Davis is less safe than Corey Connors. I think he is still safe to make the cut, and he gives you that higher weekend upside. So we'll go Cam D here. Anyone? I really love Lucas Glover at 65. If Lucas Glover won twice, he won a playoff event. He won twice. Why can't he contend here? Like, why can't he finish top 10? We'll do Lucas Glover 6,500. Now we got some salary to work with. We have $8,200 to work with. I love Justin Thomas. I think he's my winner this week, to be honest. Justin Thomas, $7,300 to work with. That's just perfect. Leaves us right with Corey Connors. I love this lineup. Scotland Scheffler, Matt Fitz, Cam D, Lucas Glover. That's a great lineup. JT and Corey Connors. So best of luck this week. I will be back tomorrow with the $5,000 golf bets and a full 6K deep dive. So I will see you there. Any questions, you guys know where to find me. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.